Another Facebook Live with me, and today is going to be a great topic. We're looking into the subject of real estate, and this subject has been very, very common in recent times. People finding themselves, buying properties that have issues, and it's come to my attention that many people just do not even know what to ask for, what to be conscious of when trying to acquire property. And this has led to them just being a victim. So today I'm going to share with you a couple of things to notice when trying to buy properties, how to then notice that, okay, something is probably wrong with this property I'm trying to buy. What are some of the signs that helps you to know a land fraud? Because like I said, many do not. In fact, the major reason people fall victim of land fraud is actually the one that attract many of them to such people. And I'm going to be giving you a lot of details about that today. And I promise you it's going to be a very life-changing episode and session. I'd like you to do me a favor. We have a pattern here. You tell me your name and the city you are joining me from. So that's usually our pattern. Your name and the city you are joining me from. That's just how we do it. What's your name? What city are you joining me from? I like to know that. Also, we have another pattern, which is we always share our videos at least 10 times. So we post it on Facebook, on LinkedIn. We'll click on Facebook party icon and invite as many people as we can to watch the broadcast. So I have Peter, YJ Peter from London. How are you, YJ Peter? Yade Yajin Daddy. Yeah, call me. Good to see you today, and thank you so much for joining. Zainab from Nigeria. Where Nigeria, Zainab, are you joining us from? Kent from Nigeria. Good to see you. Adewale from Louisiana, USA. I should be in the US in the next couple of weeks. I'll be in the US in the next couple of weeks. Easy from Dublin. How are you today? Good to see you. Good to see you. As you're joining us, tell us your name and the city you're joining us from. Your name and the city you're joining us from. It's important to let us know. So today we're looking at how do you recognize land fraud? How many of you have been a victim of land fraud in Nigeria? If you have been a victim, type 1. If you have not been a victim, type 2. Okay, if you've ever been a victim of land fraud, type 1. If you've never been a victim, type 2. Please share this video at least 10 times on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn. Share across all social media platforms. Hit on the Facebook party icon. Let's get everybody in here. There's so much value they're going to learn. There's so much that this video is going to change their lives. People have lost money. People have lost resources. And it's just because they just do not know better. They don't have all the right informations. They are not aware of how this thing works. So if you have been a victim of land fraud before, type 1. If you have not been a victim before, type 2. Okay, if you've ever been a victim of land fraud, type 1. If you've never been, hey, Madam Ronke, happy Sunday. Good to see you. Thank you for sharing. God bless you all. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so Kenneth from Italy, good to see you. Thank you. So, well, good news. Most of you here have never been a victim of land fraud. So that's good. Uche has been, but a good number of you have never. So that's quite good. At least with the information you're learning today, it will go a long way in preventing you from ever being such. So how many of you are ready? If you're ready for today's class, type, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. If you're ready for me, can you type, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Okay, type, I'm ready, I'm ready. Come on, guys, talk to me. I love a very interactive class. I love a very engaging class. When I do videos like this, we have to talk. You have to participate. You have to engage me. And that's how I enjoy training. And like I said, you don't know how many lives will be changed by this video. It's going to be crazy. People have lost millions of dollars and billions of dollars to things like this. So we're changing lives by sharing this, by helping people know better, by opening up people's eyes to what they need to actually do when they're interested in buying properties, how to protect themselves, and information they need to have. Number one way to know that you're about to be scammed when it comes to landed properties, when the land is cheap. Okay, when the land is cheap. Let me say this again, particularly in Lagos, there's no more cheap land in Lagos. So anybody telling you to come and buy land in Lagos and they are mentioning certain fees, they are lying to you. And I'll give you an example. Any land with C of O that they're asking you to buy, and it's a real estate company asking you to buy for less than 10 million, you need to check it again. Let me repeat myself again. Any land that has C of O in Lagos and it's less than 10 million naira and is a real estate company selling it, you actually need to check again. You really, really need to check again. Something is likely off. You know why? Even to personally process C of O, all the charges from your lawyers to all the application processes cannot be less than 3 million. So the owner of the land, will they give you the land for free? There are other charges. So it's just not, there are certain fees that when they mention on certain land deals, something is wrong. And sometimes we're not conscious of it. So we're often a victim of just not being aware of just the right things. So when land is cheap, right, there is something wrong. And let me say this too. How many of you are in diaspora? If you're in diaspora type 1, if you're currently in Nigeria type 2, in other words, if you're outside Nigeria and you're watching this broadcast type 1, if you are in Nigeria and you're watching this type 2. Now, those of you in diaspora are often the ones that fall victim the most. And the reason is because you're often not aware of prices of properties, right? A lot of you know, just have this mindset that property is cheap. It's supposed to be cheap. Anybody selling higher are trying to defraud you. They're trying to, play games. In many cases, that's not true. Lagos is the most expensive land in the world. Now, I'm going to show you something. This used to be the Bar Beach, right? And it's been Sandfield in partnership with Lagos State government and the federal government. And they are calling this Eco Atlantic. What you're seeing now is called Eco Atlantic, right? Now, this project is one of the major projects that they are hoping will change Lagos. It's over 1 million square meters and it's one of the most expensive locations. But what did you notice? There's some feeling. Can you notice the sound feeling? If you notice it, type I notice. Again, I love very interactive class, okay? Very engaging class. Do you notice that there's some feeling? Do you know that almost every part of Lagos, this is what's happening? Because Lagos is water. Eko aromis, Eko is water. It's water. You go to Banana Island, all they are doing is some filling to get more land. Lagos land is small. So every other part is just water. And that's why sometimes when I see people talking about dry land in Lagos, I just laugh. It's almost non-existent. Everywhere you see today that is dry, virtually everywhere was some field, right? So what you're seeing is what is going on almost in every part of Lagos. They're having to some field, they're having to, to try and get more land. So there's no land. That's why Banana Island is the most expensive land in the world. It's over $1 million to get 600 square meters in Banana Island. Over $1 million. You know why? This same sand feeling you are saying is what they are doing in Banana Island. There's no more land in Banana Island. So they're just going to the lagoon and sand filling the lagoon to get you more land. And cost of sand filling and all those things are quite high. And of course, it's high net worth people that live in that location. That's why the most expensive land is in Lagos. New York will have been the place, but they don't have land anymore in Manhattan. So Lagos is where the most expensive land is right now. Okay, so stop looking for cheap land in Lagos. It just doesn't exist. People can deceive you into it, and it's one of the biggest way they scam people, right? Because they're going to tell you, madam, no, I have a cheap land somewhere. I can get you something better, I can get you something cheaper. And then many people fall for it. Many people find themselves. How many of you are getting value? If you're getting value, can you type, I'm getting value, I'm getting value, I'm getting value? Come on, everybody, talk to me. If you're getting value, can you type, I'm getting value, I'm getting value? Please share this video at least 10 times. We will really help change the life of a lot of people. Share this video 10 times. And if you share this video 10 times, let me know. I want to pray for you. I want to thank you for doing that. Share this video 10 times. Facebook, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, across all platforms. Share this video 10 times. Get everybody in here because we're changing the life of people. If you're getting value, can you type, I am getting value. I am getting value. You click on the Facebook party icon, invite all your friends. If everybody here share this video 10 times, we're just going to change the life of a lot of people who are always falling victim. Okay? Share, copy this link, paste on groups, on WhatsApp, on Facebook, across all platforms. Very important. So, number one way to know that you're about to be scammed, you're about to be involved in a land fraud, is when the land is cheap. There's no cheap land in Lagos. Don't let anybody deceive you. And there are things to know. If the land has document, it's supposed to be at a certain fee. If the land does not have any document, yes, it might be cheap. And so always ask this question. And this is a question to ask, and everybody should type it. Why is this land cheap? Anytime they're selling a land to you in Lagos and it's cheap, always ask, why is this land cheap? Let me say it again. Why is this land cheap? Anytime they are selling land, like I said to you, and I'm not kidding, a land with C of O in Lagos, hardly can you find it for less than 10 million. Once it's less than 10 million, already begin to, at least I'm not saying it's not possible to find such, but do your research because that is already a red sign. That's already a red signal. Ask them, why is it cheap? Right? If it has gazette, if the land because the title and the location always determine the prices of land. Come on, can everybody type that? Title and location. Everybody, engage me, guys. Title and location always determine price. Can everybody type title and location? Everybody type it. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I need to engage me. I love a very engaging class. I love when we do shows like this, we're engaging. Title and location always determine the price of a landed property. Title and location. So there are certain titles that they begin to tell you. If it's Gazette, maybe you can see Gazette for 8 million, 7 million. Okay? But not necessarily lower. So there are certain titles that a land will have. If it's cheap, something is wrong. Something is wrong. There are certain locations. Something is wrong. Let me give you a story. I met a woman in Dubai some years ago, and she wanted to buy land. And she kept saying she wanted Ajah. I don't know if you know Ajah. If you know Ajah in Lagos, type 1. If you don't know, type 2. I don't know if you know Ajah in Lagos. After Lekki Phase 1, Lekki Phase 2. If you know Ajah, type 1. If you don't know Ajah, type 2. Okay, if you know Ajah, type 1. If you don't know Ajah, type 2. Now, this woman said she wanted Ajah. And I told her why. I said because she wanted it to be a warehouse. She didn't want to buy as far as Ibeju-Lekki because, it would be too far. And, she needed to be able to access the location on time. And she gave all her reasons. So I said, what's your budget, ma? She said, 8 million naira. And I said, ma, you cannot get a land in Ajah for 8 million naira that has a title, because she said she wanted a land that is free from government acquisition. So I said to her, I said, ma, you cannot get a land free from government acquisition for 8 million naira in Ajah. This was many years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. So you should know right now it's a lot more expensive even than what it was 5 years ago. But she, I told her, I said, well, I could get you for then, as at that time, for 4 million, for 6 million that time in Ibeju-Lekki that even has a Gazette or a C of O. This was 4 or 5 years ago. So she said, no. She wanted Ajah. She got another company that said they have a land in Ajah. And they deceived her that it wasn't under acquisition. That, yes, it may not have C of O, but it's not under acquisition. So she paid. I think she bought 2 plots. And then she was about starting work when she eventually discovered that the land was actually a road. And you know, there are types of acquisition. There are some acquisition you shouldn't bother because the government will still release the land back. But there are certain acquisition where if a road is going to pass that location, just let it go. There is no way government will give you that land. If a road in this particular land, the express is going to pass that land. Express road is supposed to pass that land. So how on earth can she think that she can get that land? And that was how she was totally scammed, you know, of 8 million naira. Because that's, in fact, sometimes I have bought land that is under acquisition. It was a risk. I've sold land under acquisition. But not land that is clearly spelled out that a road will pass that place. Because that's almost like impossible to ever manipulate your way or find a way to approach the government and get them to give you back the land. There's just no way. Right? And many people are fall victim of this because you want a certain location, but yet you want it cheap. You know, and I tell people, I said, we have to learn to overcome greed. Anytime we're a victim of scam or fraud, I always tell people it's always a function of some level of greed. Right? You have to be greedy for people to scam you. You have to be greedy. Right? You have to be greedy. You must somehow be looking for something less than the actual value. You may not know that that's what you're doing, but sometimes that's what is actually happening. Come on, guys. Are you learning? If you're learning, type, I'm learning. For those of you just joining us, my name is Stephen Akinta. I'm Africa's most sought after investment coach. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I'm sharing today on a powerful topic on how to know land fraud and why Lagos is the most expensive land in the world. And what this will do is supposed to educate you and put you in a better position to be able to acquire properties without losing money, without falling victim, without people taking advantage of your greed. Like I said, every time people get scammed, people took advantage of their greed. Let me repeat that again. Every time people got scammed, some people took advantage of their greed. Now, they may not even have realized that they were being greedy, but the people who were involved knew what was going on. They took advantage of it. They realized that this person wants something cheap. This person doesn't have an idea of the real cost, or this person just wants to reap where they did not sow. So you know what? I'm going to show the person. That's what they do. So oftentimes, I have never been scammed online. You know why? Before I buy anything, I want to find out what's the real value of that thing. Before I buy a car, I want to make an inquiry of how much those kind of cars actually go for. So when you're giving me certain price that is way, way lower, I know there's something, and I'm already going to begin to ask questions. And you'll be shocked because you'll be surprised that I'm asking you a question of why it's cheap. And you'll be like, people don't ask that kind of question. Rather, people are always saying it's too expensive. I want it cheaper. I want you to reduce the price. So I'm always having an idea of, in this area, how much do they really sell land? The most expensive land, how much does it go for? The cheaper land, how much does it go for? So I want to know. So at least I can come to the middle, right? But sometimes we always, I want the cheapest. And that's where the problem is. Are you ready for number 2? If you're ready for number 2, type, I'm ready. Remember, as you're joining us, share this video 10 times on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn. Get everybody involved. Invite them to be part of this broadcast. We're changing lives here by educating people, right? Again, share this video, okay? Everybody, come on, share this video at least 10 times on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn. Click on the Facebook party icon, invite everybody. Also, if you have shared this video 10 times, I want to know. Just type 10 times. If you have shared this video 10 times, just click 10 times. I want to thank you for doing that. Number 2, if you're ready for number 2, type, I'm ready. Number 2, okay? Developed land, developed location that is still cheap. Now, when they give you a land that is already developed, so the first one is a good title, but it's cheap. The second way to detect fraud when it comes to land is when the location is already developed, but it's still cheap. Okay? That is already a red sign. When a location is developed, but is still cheap, that is a red sign. Why is it cheap despite that this location is developed? Imagine you want to buy land in Ikeja GRA and they're asking you to pay 50 million naira for 300 square meter. You should ask them why. You should ask them why. Because something is wrong for you to be able to get 50 million naira worth of 600 square meter in GRA in Ikeja. Something is wrong somewhere. Something is not adding up. And I'm not kidding you. Something is not adding up. 600 square meter land in GRA Ikeja, something is not adding up. I'm not kidding you. This is real. Very, very real. Something is not adding up. It's more than that. For you to get land in GRA Ikeja, you're looking at hundreds of millions, at least 100 million, 120 million, 200 million. That's how much you're going to get a 600 square meter. GRA Ikeja, very expensive, right? If it's Ogba, right, you can still get 30 million, 35 million in Ogba, right? So these are important things. When something is already developed, the location is developed, okay, and yet they are telling you the land is cheap, something is wrong. I want to make inquiry. Now, it doesn't mean it's not possible, but at least you ask questions. It's a different thing if, for example, maybe the owner urgently needs money due to health reasons. Now I get the fact. I even will want to investigate, probably even go to the hospital to be sure that the person really was sick and that he urgently needed money. That's why. Probably the person took money from the bank and the bank were after him. Like I know a property, okay, that I have seen where Amcon, right? The person took loan in the bank and is dead. The wife got involved. But they were owing the bank, they didn't know. So Amcom got involved and later gave their lawyer permission to say, you know what, you can go sell the land and give us our money back. So that kind of land, I understand why it is cheaper. It's selling for a cheaper amount because the owner just want to quickly sell it, pay the loan they were owing, and even if it's a token that they can make from it, they don't mind. At least let all those court case, bank case end. They want peace of mind. I get it if that's the reason why the property is cheap. So it's up to me whether I want to go ahead to take that risk or not. But a situation where I buy property, okay, or they're telling me to buy property and the location is already a developed location, yet that property is just ridiculously cheap. That's fraud right there. That's something wrong right there. So you need to be careful of properties like this. Come on, how many of you are happy about this topic? If you're happy, type I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. Come on, everybody, engage me. I need to hear from you. How many of you are happy about what you're learning? If you're happy, type I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. Everybody, talk to me. If you're happy about what you're learning, type I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. Okay, if you're happy about what you're learning, can you type I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. Talk to me. Remember, my name is Stephen Akita, Africa's most sought after investment coach. I'm a serial entrepreneur. And today I'm teaching on ways to detect fraud when it comes to investing in land. Okay, some of the ways you can know that there's something fraudulent here. And I'd like you to, as you're joining, tell me your name, your city, and share this video at least, 50 times. Or 10 times. At least share this video 10 times on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn. Click on the Facebook party icon, okay? And you will be able to learn a lot. So, good, everybody is happy. Kende is happy. Uche is happy. Resty is happy, okay? MC Paul is happy. Beautiful, I'm happy that you guys are happy. Joker is happy. Precious Abel is happy. Okay, everybody is happy to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember to share this video 10 times on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn. How many of you are ready for number 3? Number 3 way to know, okay, when there is something fraudulent about the property you want to buy. Number 3 way to know when there's something fraudulent about that property that you want to buy. Number 3 way to know. If you're ready, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Come on, talk to me. If you're ready, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Number 3, okay? When Omonile is the one selling the land to you, you should be worried. Now, the kind of worry sometimes you need to have when you're buying from Omonile is not even the worry that the land doesn't belong to them. It's actually the worry that you are number what? Are you the number 10, number 5, number 10, number 20? Okay? Because you must be number something. Okay, in many cases, when Omonile sell land, they sell the same land to at least 5 to 10 people. Same land to at least 5 to 10 people. And so when you're trying to buy land, and Omonile is the one selling the land to you, you should be worried. Something is wrong somewhere. Something is wrong somewhere. A lot of times, buying land from Omonile is one of the most dangerous things you can do when you're trying to acquire property. It just doesn't make sense, right? Because they will sell to many, many people. And at the end of the day, you start fighting each other, and the person with the biggest muscle end up owning the land. And you don't want that. Sometimes it gets diabolical. Sometimes, it just gets messy. Really, really messy. And you can't stand all that chance. Sometimes, it's just crazy. I tell people, I say, real estate companies are able to survive because they are buying bulk. So they can afford to do all the PR. They can afford to take care of the families. Christmas time, Ilea time, we know what we do for all the various places we buy land, right? Sometimes the king of that area, you can even buy him a car in some cases, just so that you can have peace of mind. Now, you bought just one plot or you bought 2 plots. How can you buy land and still be able to afford to do Christmas or Ilea for the people there? How can you buy just one plot and be able to afford to buy land, house, or buy car for the king of that area? So there's a lot that those who do real estate companies are able to do to keep the peace, to protect the interest of their investors, that you may not be able to do if you are an individual that have decided to buy land directly from these people. It's difficult for you to be able to do that, okay? Because you understand the fact that you just buy 1 plot or 2 plots or maximum 1 acre. So I always advise, do not buy land from Omonile, rather buy from a real estate company. Come on, guys. Do you agree with me? If you agree, type I agree, I agree, I agree. Talk to me, guys. I need to feed off your energy. You guys are suddenly quiet today. I don't know, where are my eagles? Those who follow the Stephen Actel brand are called eagles. Where are the eagles? Come on, where are the eagles? Those who follow Stephen Actel brand are called the eagles. Where are the eagles? Where are the eagles? Come on, everybody. I'm waiting for you. Where are you guys? Okay, so if you agree, type I agree, I agree, I agree. It is wise to buy from real estate company than Omonile, because even if you have disagreement with a real estate company, you can sue them to court. You can have civilized conversations. You can ask your lawyer. You can do a lot, okay? But you are fighting with Omonile. How are you going to? Do you have more charm than them? Are you going to shoot when they have cutlass and guns? There's so much that you don't have control over. And usually, if you deal with one person, the one person can disappear. The one person can just disappear. The person you paid money to his account can disappear, right? So, and Nigeria is quite big. So this one-man business, this buy from Omonile, is not always the wise thing to do. It's not always the right thing to do. It's better to look for credible companies and buy directly from a company. And that is very important. So number 4, if you're ready for number 4, type I'm ready, I'm ready. And on this number 4, I want to now focus on how do you then know the right companies. Now that I've advised you to buy more from companies, the question would then be, how do you know the right company to buy from? How do you, because there are companies that are also dealing shady. So how do you know the right companies to buy from? Okay, come on, guys. Are you getting value? If you're getting value, type I'm getting value, I'm getting value. As you're joining me, my name is Stephen Akita. I'm Africa's most sought after investment coach. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I'm teaching on how to know land fraud and why Lagos is the most expensive land in the world. And we've shared about 3 topics so far. We have 2 more to go. Please share this video 10 times. By the way, how many of you have shared this video 10 times? If you've shared this video 10 times, can you type 10 times? Come on, I want to even know. How many of you have shared this video 10 times? If you've shared this video 10 times, can you type 10 times? Okay, everybody is ready for number 4. Real estate companies, you know, when you begin to buy land from real estate companies that do not have structure, is actually a sign that you might be scammed. When buying properties and you've decided to buy from a real estate company, Abiola Adeyinka has shared this video 10 times. Thank you, Yami. God bless you. The Lord will reward you. Precious Abel has also shared this video 10 times. Wow. God will honor you. Thank you for sharing this video 10 times. The Lord will reward you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. So number 4, only buy from real estate companies that have structure. What are the structure? They must have a website. They must have an office. Steve Bola has shared also 10 times. God will honor you. God will bless you. Thank you for sharing 10 times. I'm grateful. The Lord will reward you, because this is a major issue people always have concern about. Okay, so make sure the real estate company has structure. Where's their office? And right now, you can be in US and know people's office. You can use Google Business. They must be on Google Business. If you type their name on Google Business, you'll be able to show you where their office is. They must have a website. They must have a website. And let me say this. Many of you do not even know this. They must have a structure outside the owners. One of the biggest mistakes I've seen people make in Africa is trying to do business with one man. It is wrong. Stop buying land from a one-man business. At least let there be structure. By the way, it's important. My next point is even going to say what I'm saying. It's important to know the owners of the company. But it shouldn't be a one-man. There must be a structure. There must be an office. I must be able to have people I can call. I must be able to email people that work in that place, and I can talk to them and they can address my concerns. Right? Adiola has shared this video 10 times. Thank you, my sister. God bless you. The Lord will reward you. I'm grateful. Thank you for sharing this, because together we are changing this narrative. Okay, we're changing this narrative. We have to invest back at home. This is our country. This is our country. Richard has shared 10 times. God bless you. We have to, listen, if we don't patronize each other, there's no way Nigeria will grow. We still have to patronize each other. So our fears, our concerns are usually a function of ignorance. And we have to, educate ourselves to know where we're missing, to know what we don't know, and begin to get better as a people. Okay, and this is key to building prosperity in Africa. I've shared this several times. Black lives cannot matter until Africa matters. If you really want black lives to matter in the UK, in the US, in all these parts of the world, Africa has to matter. Africa has to get it right. Okay, Jeffrey has shared this video to 20 groups. God will bless you and honor you and reward you for doing that. Thank you. So, number 4, make sure that the real estate company you're buying from has a structure. They must have a website. They must have an office. They must have people in those offices that you can call, that you can deal with. So it's not enough that you know the owner, because where we miss it sometimes that who is the owner alone shouldn't be the only thing. I know the MD. I know him. No. Who are the people in the office? Do they have an office? Do they have employees? Do they have people that can attend to me? One man, the MD can be sick one day. He may die one day. Right? You don't want to do a one-man business, ladies and gentlemen. Right? The owner of the company can die. So, you want a company with structure. A company with what? Can everybody type structure? A company with structure. Everybody come and type it. Company with structure. Everybody, I want you to type company with structure. Everybody type it. Company with structure. You want to buy from companies with structure. They have offices, they have staff, they have a website, they have a structure. Okay. If you have enjoyed today's class, type, I've enjoyed it, I've enjoyed it, I've enjoyed it. How many of you agree with me that if you have known this, anybody that knows what I'm teaching cannot fall victim of scam when it comes to land business? If you agree, type, I agree, I agree, I agree. Again, how many of you agree that if you know what I'm teaching you now, you most likely cannot fall victim of scam. If you agree, type I agree, I agree, I agree. Come on. I love engaging class. I love call and response. Love when I'm doing trainings like this, you're getting back to me. And that's just the real truth. If people had known what I'm teaching you now, many of them would not have lost their money. Okay, they will not have lost their money because they just didn't even understand what we're talking about. A lot of people just bought, oh, it's my brother, that's why they bought. It's my uncle, that's why they bought. He's somebody in our family, we have known him over the years, that's why they bought. Where is his office? No. Who works there? No. Website? No, nothing. And then they went ahead and started paying money. Even if you have seen the land, because some of you think all that is important alone is seeing the land. Forget seeing the land. It's not just about seeing the land. I would rather buy a land from a company I've never seen the land, okay, and I've never been, but I have gone online, I've checked, they have a website, right? They have an office that I can see online on the internet. I would rather deal with that company than even somebody taking me and showing me a land. If they show me the land, what if the land is not there tomorrow? So if they just showed me now, okay, the land may not be there tomorrow. They can sell it to somebody else. So it's not about I must see the land alone. It's about is this a company? Because once it's a company with structure, I can get my money back. I can sue them and the court can award me my money back. Okay? So it's very important that we understand this part. Come on. Are you ready for number 5? If you're ready, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. If you're ready for number 5, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Come on, let's do this. So we shared 5 points. I'm going to be taking questions once I'm done. I know a lot of you have questions, and I'm going to take as many questions as possible. I can see Kenechi says, thank you, Jennifer Akaze, for inviting me. You see, that's why I told you, always click on the Facebook party icon and invite people, share the video, because you do not know how you are changing people's life. A lot of people have been scammed, have lost so much money, and it's just because they just don't know better. They just don't know better. They know that it's important to have property back at home, but nobody told them things to be conscious of. Nobody who is experienced in the business has opened their eyes to things to be careful about. Okay, so are you ready for number 5? Okay, everybody is ready. Yes, Jeffrey is ready. Stephanie Gan is ready. Precious is ready. Everybody's ready. So number 5. Okay, only deal with companies, okay, or when you see companies that the owners are unknown, that is a sign of fraud. Okay, number 4 is that companies that don't have structure. That's a sign that you're about to be scammed or defrauded. Number 5 is companies that the owners are not known. There are companies like that. When they say, who are the owners, you can't find. You go to their website, you don't know who is the owner. There's nobody who is the face of the brand. There's nobody who has acknowledged to say, I'm the MD of this company. At least I'm MD. Nobody. Something is wrong somewhere. I must know the owner. Now, it doesn't mean the owner works in the company. Like, I'm already gradually withdrawing from being involved in the day-to-day activity of our company. So that I'm not talking about that the owner must be involved in day-to-day. There are several people you may not know in this country. Kings, military generals, retired governors, presidents who own businesses. They are no longer involved in the day-to-day running of that company, but we know they are the owner, right? And they are never ashamed to identify that they own the company, but they are not involved in the day-to-day running. And that's what we're talking about here. When we cannot know the owners of a company, and yet you go ahead and you buy property from them, you are not safe. You are not safe. In fact, this point is probably the most important of all the points I've shared since morning. You must know the owners of the companies, of the property that you're buying. You must know the owners. Who are the people behind this company? Yes, I may see their TV advert, I may see their radio advert, but who are those behind it? Who are the owners? Are they people of repute? Are they people known in the society? Are they people that they can't run away, right? Because they have a brand and they want to protect that brand. And they will at least make sure the company delivers. These are very critical things that we often don't look at. So many times we're bothered about, oh, I must come to Nigeria to see the land. That means nothing. You came, you saw the land. They can package the land so that it look okay for you to see. And once you leave Nigeria, you're on your own. Okay, so I'd rather buy a company that I know the owner, even if I have never stepped my feet in Nigeria. I'd rather buy because I know the owners are people of repute, they are known, and so I'm safe. Okay, but companies without anybody identifying with them, I don't know who's the owner, there's nobody associated with the brand, okay, and it's just an invisible company. Nah, be careful, be careful, be careful. You might just end up being scammed and defrauded, right? Be careful. Companies that we don't know the owner, be careful. So always ask that question. Who are the owners of this company? Who are the face of this company? Who are those who have put their face to it? GTEx Homes, a company that I'm the MD of, not only is my face seen with the brand, from Jim Iyke to Messi Aibe in time past to Iniedo, to William Ichemba, to Besere, several reputable people have put their name behind the brand, to Kola Olotu, and so on and so forth. They put their name behind the brand that we run. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, how you run a company. Okay? There has to be people who are on CNN. And these people do not only just identify, they do advert that goes on CNN for the company. So these are critical things that you look out for. Once you've seen this thing, relax. Go ahead and do business. Go ahead and do business. All this, I'm afraid, is because you don't even know what to look out for. And I've seen situations where, because people didn't even know what to look out for, they end up losing big time, okay, from their property investment. How many of you are happy about today's topic? If you're happy, type I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. Come on. If you're happy, if you've learned a lot, type I'm happy, or type I've learned a lot. Okay, show me some love, guys. I've given you $1 million secret that, hey, man, these are things that they are not just out there, right? They are not in books, right? They are not in books. These are not things you find in books, ladies and gentlemen. They are not in books, so you need to know this. They are not in books. These are practical things that many have lost resources because they didn't know. Nobody told them. And they have lost so much because they didn't know better. They just took action and they ended up losing. If you are okay, Stephanie is happy. So now I'm going to take questions. I'm going to take your question. Now, for how many of you want more content from Dr. Stephen Akintayo? If you want more content from me, type more content, more content. I have a platform. By the way, start typing your question. I'm going to answer your questions. I have a platform, YouTube, at Stephen Akintayo TV on YouTube. I've put over 1,000 videos there. And these are real life-changing videos. Okay, real life-changing videos at Stephen Akintayo TV on YouTube. Go subscribe to my YouTube page. It's free. Go click subscription button. There's so much value there that will change your life, you know, on that YouTube. So Precious want more content, so go to the YouTube at Stephen Akintayo TV. So all those who follow the Stephen Akintayo brand are called Eagles. That's the name of my fans. They are called Eagles. So you want more content, just go to Stephen Akintayo TV. And also for those of you who are joining us for the first time today, click on the notification button. Almost every day, I'm always coming with some content or the other. So click on the notification button, you know, so that you are notified whenever I'm live and you're able to learn and get so much value, okay? And you can learn so much. So let's see. Questions now. I think somebody had a question earlier. It says, how about newly started companies, which is yet to grow, to the level of inviting celebrity to show up for their brands? Does that mean they are not genuine? Not at all. I mean, there was a time we never had money to be able to use celebrities, but I, the MD of the company, my face was there. Okay, my face was there, right? So I'm the MD of GTEx Homes, and my face was there. I mean, so I may not have been at the beginning, I couldn't afford celebrities, but you will see me do videos on our estate. You see me identify with our company and say, hey, this is our company, this is what we do. So what we're saying is that if the owners, even if they use celebrity and the owners themselves are not even known, or something is wrong, I'm not even if the owners didn't necessarily do video, but at least maybe their name is on their website, or they're willing to once in a while share about what the company does or show up at the company's events. At least let us know the owners behind the company. That's what we're saying. So it's not just about celebrities, because even if you use celebrity and we still don't know the owners, because celebrities, aside that they want to do their due diligence, they also have to be paid, right? So, but when the owners are identified with the brand, then now they must be willing to protect the brand. That's why they are willing to show their face. But when they are not willing to show their face, maybe they are not willing to, they are not sure the brand can deliver. Hence, their reluctance to be able to say, hey, I'm the owner of this brand, I identify with this brand, and this is what this brand is willing to deliver. So that's very key. Okay, so any more questions? Any more questions? If you have more questions, feel free to ask. If you have more questions, feel free to ask. Again, for those of you just joining us, my name is Dr. Stephen Akintayo. I'm Africa's most sought after investment coach, Monsieur Entrepreneur. I teach people how to build wealth legitimately from real estate, different online businesses, and we've mentored a lot of people on building wealth legitimately. And I'm big on the fact that Africans have to begin to consider wealth creation, right? We will continue to be victims until we begin to build wealth, until we begin to, invest in ourselves, invest in building wealth, invest in creating mutual prosperity. Okay, so for me, that is a very, very critical one. That's a very important one. So Easy says building for commercial purpose and doing purely land banking. Which one do you advise? Well, at the moment, land banking is going to be number one. Commercial real estate, because of COVID-19, has fallen sharply. COVID-19 has affected commercial real estate. As you know, many companies had to ask people to stay at home. So residential real estate is doing well. But land banking actually can end up eventually being used for any. What matters is that you're getting a strategic land. The land may eventually be used for commercial or residential. But what matters is that land never loses value. Houses lose value, but not land. And that is some of the mistakes people don't know, that a house can lose value, a building can lose value, particularly even when the fashion is over. It is land that appreciates, not houses. There are a lot of house property. I'm trying to buy a property somewhere in one of the GRAs for over 400 million. And we'll have to demolish the entire house. Massive house, big swimming pool, big this, big that, massive. But we demolish the entire thing because the houses, they're too big. It's not commercially viable. So we need to demolish and start building 2-bedroom, there. So the question is, what am I now buying for about 500 million? What am I really buying for 500 million? Obviously, it's not the house. It's the land that I'm buying. So it is land that appreciates, not house. And that's where people miss it a lot. And so some of us are not prioritizing land. We're prioritizing house. There's nothing wrong with house. It's important and it's good. But the priority is land. Particularly for investment, when your goal is that you want to make more money. And I tell people, always start, okay? Always start with investment, okay? Buy properties for investment first before you consider buying for where you're going to live. And I think that's where we miss it. A lot of us focus on buying properties first for where we're going to live instead of for investment. You need to know that the house you live in does not appreciate. It is actually the house that the house you live in doesn't appreciate. It's the house that you rent out that appreciate. Okay, so it's the house you rent out that appreciate. You don't build wealth by building big house. You know, it's not an asset. The house you live in is not an asset, it's a liability. It's the house that you rent out and you are getting returns on investment that is an asset. Buying a car is not an asset. The car that you buy is not an asset. It's not an asset. You know, very, very important that you know all this. Okay. A big thank you guys for watching. I love you all. God bless you. Don't forget to go to my YouTube page, subscribe to the YouTube channel at Stephen Akitayo TV on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram. So at Stephen Akintayo on YouTube. It's a powerful platform. There's so much value. Your life will literally change with the over 1,000 videos on YouTube. Over 1,000 videos. You heard me. Over 1,000 videos on YouTube. And so you can imagine that kind of value that you're touching on YouTube, and it's just going to change your life. Remember again, at Stephen Akintayo TV on YouTube. Go subscribe. Okay, I still have a few questions. Let me quickly answer these questions. So somebody, you sent a message to my company about wanting to sell 300 acres of land. Well, you know, just send a mail to secretary at GTEX Global. Secretary at GTEXglobal.com. Hopefully the person in charge will respond to you. Okay, secretary at GTEX Global. So send a mail there. Okay, and hopefully they will reply you. Precious says, my question is why most land have C of O? Why most land don't have C of O? Well, the reason is because why most land don't have C of O is because, first of all, this whole C of O concept, that law that brought about C of O is a fraud. It's a 1978 law. It's a fraud because it says that all land belongs to the governor. How many of you agree with me that land don't belong to governors? Land actually belongs to families. If you agree, type I agree, I agree. So, and this is part of why some people are calling for restructuring of Nigeria, because the foundation behind the foundation of Nigeria is this. The foundation is flawed. It's flawed, right? It's flawed. So, I mean, look at what's going on. For example, the police in Nigeria just disbanded SARS, only to still be firing tear gas and spraying water and all of that. I mean, there's that element of always wanting to be brutal, wanting to, you know, there's that brutality there. It's just a nature. It's just in us. I'm currently running a course in Harvard. It's a management course. And I was sharing with my instructors and my classmates, it was yesterday, you know, one of those lecture days. And I was telling them, I said, I noticed that there's something violent about the leadership style in Africa. And I'm hoping that through that course, I can learn that if there are better ways that one can lead in Africa without being violent and brutal, right? There's just that nature in us. So the reality here is that the law is flawed in the first place. You know, it's flawed. Something is wrong with it. You can't say land belonged to governor. How? Where? Right? Before the governor was born, that land belonged to a family. You know, families own land, not governor. How many of you agree? If you agree, type I agree. Come on, guys. I need your comment. So families own land, not governor. So that law, 1978, is flawed. Something is even wrong with it. Because of that law, what then happened is that most governors come to power, they place what we call global acquisition on lands. And this is part of why land is expensive, which is why I'm telling people, don't be deceived when people just want to tell you land is cheap. It's expensive in Lagos, right? So most governors do not give people land. What they do is that they put global acquisition on the land. And by the way, that land also said that the law was actually, the intention of the law was good. So why they were saying governor on, so that they can do road, they can do projects for people. So that land was, the governor is the owner of the land, but he can put global acquisition if it's for public use. But what most governors do is for private use. They will take over a land and share it amongst their friends, their family members, and will not use it for the public. So what then happened is that, the little lands that are available and that already have documents are now more expensive. They are now more expensive. For example, we have a land in Jasper Estate in Ibejuleki. I was shocked. And that's why the value of that land kept going higher. From after you leave that our property down to La Campagne down, there is no more land that has gazette. Our land is the only one that has gazette. In fact, I remember meeting, going to the back of our land, and I saw some other people, they've developed their land. I had to be calling them, but this land doesn't have documents. Yeah, there's nothing government can do. We are building the property because, hey, you can't just come and chase people from their land. We've bought from the family members, and there's nothing government can do. We are taking over the land. I said, wow, you guys have mind though. So it's there's so much injustice, and like I said, it's not what has created that scarcity and why land is now expensive, why everything is just expensive, because you struggle to find a property with C of O. So the little that has C of O, the prices has to go higher, because it's almost like in some location your land may be the only one in that entire axis that has C of O. So, or that has gazette, or things like that. Even where Berry 2 is, for a major location around that is entire Eleko, it's just like the only place again that you have gazette. So these are what leads to a lot of these things. Is land with title as scarce. That's why they're expensive. That's why they're expensive. So because they are scarce, they will be expensive, of course. And that's why when people tell me about affordable housing, I tell them, go talk to government, right? Because I can't buy land cheaper than I'm buying it. Remember, it's a company that I run. There are almost 300 staff. Some are full-time, some are part-time. They all have to be paid every month, right? The company has investors who invested their money so that they can get returns, right? So there are bills that companies have. And so it's not a job of, even in the UK, in the US and all these countries where properties seemingly are cheap. By the way, they are not cheap. Houses are not cheap in the US, they are not cheap in the UK. A 5-bedroom duplex in average in the US is over $250,000 US. You change that to Naira, you know what we're talking about. But what has made it cheap is the down payment. The down payment, you may have a property worth $250,000, and all the down payment they need you to drop is like $30,000. And then you can spread the rest in 30 years. That is why it looks as if properties are cheap in those. And who then made it such that you can drop such little amount as down payment? It's government and banks. It's the government policy as well as then the bank are the ones that have worked together. So when you meet private companies and you're telling them, I say this a lot to media people, that sometimes you guys are not just being sincere when you are telling us, we developers, is your affordable housing. How can our, housing be affordable when in reality, the banks, if the bank give you loan, you're in trouble. Do you know how many estates? People always ask me, why did you refuse to take loan from the bank? I said, do you know how many estates are in trouble now? And even people who invested in those estates are in trouble because the banks have taken over those estates. Because those people went to borrow money and started developing those estates fast. Subscribers were happy that they were developing fast, but they didn't know they borrowed money. Before you know it, they couldn't pay the banks. The banks took over the entire property, put caveat emptor. So all those who invested in that estate have lost their money now. So, and you put pressure. So I tell people, I say, look, it's better people can be sincere with you. You may think they're expensive. You may think this. Let them just do it the right way. Right? Rather than, they tell you it looks cheap. It's government and banks that need to. So what happened is that I will still charge my money, but the bank can say, hey, Dr. Stephen, give us anybody who has invested in Jasper Estate that has paid you at least 20% of the money. We will give you your remaining 80% of the money. We, the banks, and them can spread the payment for the next 30 years or something. That's the way it should be. So thank you, Somebody says he loves my consistency. Thank you. I appreciate it. So where in Lagos is Jasper Estate? Jasper Estate is in Ibejuleki, Lagos. Okay, it's just 10 minutes after Dangote Refinery, and about 10 minutes, about 8 minutes to La Campagne Tropicana, and it's opposite Lekki, proposed Lekki Golf Course, adjacent the Dangote Jetty. It's in fact, it's the hub of all the amazing development going on in Ibejuleki because of the refinery, the free trade zone, the seaport, and all of the amazing good things going on there. If you want to make an inquiry, you can call the office. There are people. We run 24/7 CRM. In other words, even if you call our office 2 a.m., somebody's there to pick it. I don't know if you're happy about that. Come on, talk to me. If you call our office 2 a.m., there's somebody employed to pick your call. We run 24/7 CRM, 24/7 CRM. So it's really amazing. It's amazing. So you can call the office to make an inquiry. You can always reach out to the office. So the office number is 08188111199. The email of the office is info@gtexhomes.com. And of course, www.gtexhomes.com is our website. You can always type GTEX Homes, you will see our office address. Type GTEX Homes on Google Map, you see GTEX Homes address, okay? So you can call the office, but if you are sure, it's me you want to deal with, so fine. Hey, good to see you, Paul from Cameroon. How are you today? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Wow, we've had a great time. I don't know if you have had a great time, by the way. If you've had a great time, type great time, great time, great time, great time. Come on, guys, talk to me. If you've had a great time, can you type great time, great time, great time, great time? If you're really, really, really sure you've had a great time, can you type great time, great time? I want to say a big thank you for watching. I really love all of you. Thank you for sharing. We had over 150 shares. Somebody shared 20 times. I mean, you guys are amazing. The Eagles are, you guys are, you are awesome. Okay. 174. Oh no. This is the Eagle Nation. Come on. The Eagle Nation is just amazing. You guys are wonderful. You guys are wonderful. Honestly, you guys are wonderful. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching. Love you all. And don't forget the YouTube channel to subscribe. Love you. Bye-bye. Good evening.